Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Fantasy era. Divine Library. Upon waking up, Jiang Chen, the world's largest librarian, found himself in the era of fantasy. In the era of fantasy, the strong are like clouds, future science, and the inheritance of ancient martial arts. To Jiang Chen's surprise, he found a super library bound in his mind. Every book inside has been mysticized. Medicine books have become alchemy. The Taoist scriptures have become the supreme collection. Mechanical books have become refining books. The gymnastics chart has become a body exercise technique. Now Jiang Chen feels like he's going to develop. In the era of fantasy, I am the king. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. National Fantasy, Expelled from School Anew. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The era of universal fantasy has become an era where the strong dominate. Powerful fantasy cultivators, towering above all else, possess countless beautiful women, spend endless amounts of money, and possess supreme power, are about to reach a turning point in your life. The college entrance examination. As long as you score high in the exam, you can enter the holy land of cultivation and reach the pinnacle of your life. Do you know that? In the scorching summer, at Taoist Middle School, 8,000 young people were standing on the playground. A middle-aged man spoke with a strong and serious voice, his face cold, but his words were passionate and passionate. Jiang Chen was a bit confused, and his head was still a bit dizzy to this day. However, Jiang Chen had almost figured out the situation. This is a parallel world similar to Earth, but it has undergone earth-shattering changes because in this world, people no longer value science, but power. In this world, everyone has the qualification to practice. Everyone can become a strong person, and the path to becoming a strong person is like reading on Earth in the past life. But in this world, reading is no longer just about reading. The books you read are about cultivation. There are no courses such as Chinese, mathematics, English, or physical education. Some courses only focus on physical cultivation, spiritual cultivation, martial arts cultivation, and mental cultivation. And more importantly, the area of this world is 10,000 trillion times that of the previous Earth, with countless creatures and too many, so in this era, life is worthless. And this era is not just about the human race, on the contrary, the status of the human race in this world is not even among the top 3. The first is the demon race, the second is the ancient race, the third is the alien race, and the fourth is the human race. In a period of time, the human race almost came to an end because the demon and ancient tribes joined forces. In the barbaric era, the demon and ancient tribes used the human race as food and kept them in captivity like pigs and dogs to satisfy their appetite. However, millions of years have passed, and the human race has stood up. Although their status is only ranked 4th, it is enough to make the demon race afraid. It can be said that this is the most peaceful era, but the human race cherishes every minute of peace and practices like a madman, in order to make the demon race more afraid. The human race has always longed for the appearance of a great emperor, because once a great emperor appears, it can protect the human race for millions of years of prosperity and suppress the demon race. Just nearly 500 years have passed, and the human race still cannot see any hope. On the contrary, the demon race and the ancient race have several great emperor seeds, which makes the human race even more troubled. And just as Jiang Chen was lost in thought, suddenly the middle-aged man on stage spoke up. Jiang Chen from class 3 of grade 3, could you please come on stage? The sound sounded, and Jiang Chen was momentarily taken aback. However, Jiang Chen did not disobey and walked up honestly. Standing on the podium, Jiang Chen looked at the 8,000 people below, indeed feeling a sense of ambition, but just then, the middle-aged man spoke coldly. All the students at Taoist Middle School have listened to me clearly. Taoist Middle School, established for 750 years, has been transporting various talents to the human race from the era of war to the present. However, during these 750 years, the students at Taoist Middle School have had both good and bad experiences. However, this student, Jiang Chen from Class 3 of high school, broke the record for the lowest score in Jiangzhou Province last month's exam and became the third student in the entire Chinese Fantasy Alliance country to score negative in the exam. Now, the school has expelled Jiang Chen from the exam. The sound sounded, and Jiang Chen's face couldn't help but change. Dismissal. This is a great humiliation. Taoist College is recognized as one of the 800 key high schools in the Chinese Fantasy Alliance country. If it is expelled, it will be recorded in one's life file. Once this happens, whether going to work or other schools in the future, this mark cannot be removed. Simply put, this is the stain on life. Just got fired after crossing over. This is indeed a bit unlucky. Director Wang, according to the school rules, if I hadn't made any major mistakes, let alone you. Even if the principal comes, I can't be fired, can I? But Jiang Chen is not a fool. Does the other party say that he can be fired? The memory in his mind made Jiang Chen know that because Taoist Middle School is a national key high school, he does not have the authority to dismiss him. Unless Jiang Chen has committed a major mistake, he has absolutely no right to dismiss himself. Not to mention the middle-aged man in front of him, the teaching director of Taoist Middle School, Wang Kai, a martial artist in the divine realm. Humph. You're right. I really don't have the ability to dismiss you at Taoist Middle School, but this is a decision made by the school authorities and personally approved by the three principals. However, to be precise, it should not be called dismissal, but dropout. You are still a student at Taoist Middle School, but what you do next has nothing to do with Taoist Middle School. You can continue to study, but you belong to the individual. Wang Kai spoke slowly. The so-called dropout refers to the fact that students who are still students of Taoist Middle School are still qualified to participate in the college entrance examination and attend school, just like those who spend money to attend classes at Taoist Middle School. Everything they do has nothing to do with Taoist Middle School. Even if Jiang Chen's exam is poor, it is still his personal matter and has nothing to do with the school. Generally speaking, students who are considered to be out of school by the school are basically no different from being expelled, and when they come to school, they are also targeted by various factors, whether they are classmates or teachers. Therefore, most out-of-school students cannot bear the pressure and drop out on their own. To put it simply, Taoist Middle School wants to force Jiang Chen to drop out on his own. At this moment, Wang Kai continued to speak. Jiang Chen, if I were you, I would take the initiative to drop out of school now. Look at these 8,000 students, each one is an elite among the elites. Your parents are certainly heroes, going to the edge of the Milky Way to fight monsters, but because of this, you should work harder. But your performance not only makes your parents feel ashamed, but more importantly, it makes Taoist Middle School feel ashamed, making all these 8,000 students feel ashamed. If you drop out of school, I can apply for a subsidy from the school, at least to help you survive. How about that? In front of 8,000 students, Wang Kai took the initiative to dissuade Jiang Chen, as if slapping him hard in the face. Jiang Chen, who was not originally very angry, finally turned cold at this moment. Perhaps he is just a traveler, but if he inherits this body, then he is Jiang Chen. You can humiliate yourself, but it is absolutely intolerable to speak up to your parents. Just the disparity in strength is too great. Whether it is in status or background, I am not qualified to say anything harsh. Speaking it out is just big talk. And at this moment, suddenly, a crisp sound sounded. The activation of the supernatural library was successful. Chapter 2. Supernatural Library New Book Seeking Collection Seeking. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. A very strange voice sounded, and then Jiang Chen felt a whirlwind and immediately passed out. After opening his eyes, a huge library appeared in front of him. At this moment, Jiang Chen couldn't help but take a breath of air conditioning. How did you bring this along too? The library in front of him was so familiar that it was unbelievable, because before crossing over, he was the administrator of this library. This library can be said to be one of the pride of the Chinese people in their past lives, as it collects 36 million books of all kinds, including traditional literature, online novels, ancient books, as well as medicine, engineering, architecture, and finance. Anyway, as long as there are published books, this library has them, both domestically and internationally. However, Jiang Chen was very curious. How did he bring this and the library? It seems like it didn't have much effect, right? Answer the host, the library has evolved into a supernatural library, and due to changes in the world, all the books in the library have been converted. A voice rang out, and Jiang Chen frowned and looked around. Who is speaking? At this moment, a ball of light floated in front of Jiang Chen. Answer the host, I am the spirit of the supernatural library, I was just talking. The spirit of the supernatural library. Jiang Chen nodded. As a library administrator, Jiang Chen has also read many books. He cannot be said to love reading online novels, but he has also read a lot of classic novels, so he can understand what Qi-Ling is. What do you mean by saying that all the books in the library have been converted? Jiang Chen asked. Answer the host, there are 36 million books in the library, and upon entering this strange world, all the books have been changed. For example, a medical book has been transformed into an alchemy prescription, a weapon explanation book has also been transformed into a book for forging magic treasures, and some martial arts secret books have been transformed into a cultivation of mind techniques or divine powers secret methods. And the Super God Library has planned all books into 8 levels. Ordinary books, inferior books, medium books, superior books, advanced books, top-notch books, peerless books, and divine books. Upon hearing Qi-Ling's answer, Jiang Chen immediately understood. Mind skills and supernatural powers are the most lacking thing for the human race nowadays, because it is rumored that the earliest creatures were indeed the demon in ancient races. Their history is much longer than that of the human race, and the human race has experienced a dark era, being hung and beaten by the demon, ancient, and foreign races. Throughout history, we have lost too many cultivation methods, secret manuals for supernatural powers, and various elixirs and tools. Because of this, the Huaxia Fantasy Alliance openly reclaims lost civilizations. If any secret recipe that has been cut off from inheritance is discovered, regardless of its value, a generous bonus will be given. There are 36 million volumes of secret techniques in the supernatural library now, which is simply a huge treasure. At this moment, the spirit of the supernatural library continued to speak. Answer the host, the supernatural library has far more capabilities than these. Currently, the supernatural library has 2 other functions. One is called book analysis. As long as some secret law books are placed in the supernatural library, they can be perfectly interpreted. Incomplete secret laws can become complete as long as there is enough energy. The second function is enlightenment. As long as the host has enough energy, any cultivation of mental methods or divine martial arts can be learned with one click. The combination of mental interpretation and one-click learning is like adding wings to a tiger. But soon Jiang Chen also realized something. What do you mean by energy? Everything requires energy, and the supernatural library has brought it up several times, which Jiang Chen noticed. Energy refers to the special energy generated in this world, which is required for cultivation, as well as the supernatural library. Qi-Ling answered. Oh, you're talking about spiritual energy, right? Jiang Chen immediately understood, because he had all the memories of his original owner and knew what the energy of the supernatural library was. Yes, in the supernatural library, 36 million secret books require energy to be converted, but the library has the ability to absorb energy on its own. It will not specify which book to give to the host every month. Currently, you can try it for the first time. Would you like to choose to extract it? Qi Ling answered in this way. Okay, draw. Why not smoke when there is free smoking? Extracting. Congratulations to the host for extracting the Book of the Gods, the first chapter of the Book of Changes. Book. The Book of Changes. Quality. Book of God. Type. Qiyuan. Function. Root bone enhances by 500 times. Function. Enhance qualifications by 500 times. Puff the Book of God. Jiang Chen had some doubts. He had a relatively dark face from childhood to adulthood. How could he be so lucky after crossing the river? Draw the Book of God as soon as you come. Although it's the first article, it's also very scary. What is the concept of a 500-fold increase in root bone qualifications? The top-notch cultivation secret can be fully understood by oneself by just looking at it once, and the comprehension ability is 500 times that of others. As for the bones, they are simply something that countless people dream of. 500 times the number of bones, that is to say, a common pill that is 500 times more effective than others when swallowed by oneself. One pill should be eaten as 500. If one is not strong enough in this way, then there will be ghosts. This is simply it's against the sky. The extraction of books has ended. Currently, there is insufficient energy to maintain the host's presence in the supernatural library. Please provide the host with enough energy to enter the supernatural library. The sound of Qi Ling rang out, and Jiang Chen couldn't help but quickly ask. How much energy does it take to exchange something like the Book of Changes? It requires 100 million points of energy value, and it has been detected that the host currently has something called a spirit stone in the world. A lower-grade spirit stone is equal to 1 point of energy value. Is a lower-grade spirit stone equivalent to some energy value? Do you know the purchasing power of an inferior spirit stone, which is equivalent to 100 yuan, that is to say, it takes 10 billion yuan to obtain a divine-level book. This does have some horror. But looking back, perhaps 10 billion yuan is indeed a huge asset for myself now, but in this world with countless populations, once I become a strong person, what is a mere 10 billion yuan worth of inferior spiritual stones? After coming out of the supernatural library, when I open my eyes again, I am still on the podium, and everything I have experienced is only for a moment. Jiang Chen, how do you choose? Wang Kai continued to inquire from a high position. How to choose? Jiang Chen was stunned for a moment, then took a deep breath and slowly spoke. I don't know if Director Wang has heard such a sentence before. What words? Wang Kai looked at Jiang Chen with a playful expression on his face. 30 years in the East and 30 years in the West. Don't deceive young people into poverty. Jiang Chen spoke up. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Chen had already walked towards the podium. He didn't say anything bold and ambitious, because Jiang Chen knew that no matter what he said now, all he received was ridicule and ridicule. If I really want to face back, then 100 days later, when the top scorer of Jiangzhou province. That's all on the podium. Wang Kai's face slightly turned ugly upon hearing these words. The minimum 3 shifts per day will be added irregularly. I beg for everything. Chapter 3. Demon-like learning, learning hypnosis. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiangzhou Province, Taiyan Community. It was already late at night, and Jiang Chen gradually returned home. A home of less than 80 square meters is the only thing left for oneself by parents. Through the memories in his mind, Jiang Chen knew that his parents had already stepped into the Milky Way, fought against monsters, and defended the world. This was a very honorable thing, but his parents had never returned since stepping into the Milky Way 10 years ago. Everyone believes that their parents have died on the battlefield, but the official has not given a response. It is said that there may be other reasons, but no matter what, their parents are no longer there, and Jiang Chen did not want to rely on his own parents. Returning home, Jiang Chen opened his optical brain. Although technology had been abandoned by this era, there were some things that had to exist. The optical brain was a super upgraded version of the computer and one of the greatest inventions of the Fantasy Alliance. Having many abilities, the optical brain in Jiang Chen's family is just a regular version of the optical brain, not the kind of super optical brain that cannot do more things, such as simulating actual combat. After turning on the optical brain, Jiang Chen began to study crazily. The reason why my grades are so poor at Taicang Middle School is entirely due to not studying seriously, which is no wonder of others. There are still 100 days left until the college entrance examination. To be honest, Jiang Chen dare not say 100% that he can win the top prize in Jiangzhou province. This is not traditional learning, theory only occupies a small part, and the real comparison is still strength. There are a total of 6 subjects to be taken in the college entrance examination. Theory. Physical constitution. Practical combat. Trial. Battle. And the final battle, the final level can be taken or not taken, but the score given by the battle is the highest because it is really possible to lose your life. Even if you are a wealthy second generation or a powerful person, in the battle exam, death is death. Therefore, some ordinary candidates will put all their hopes on the battle. Because this is the only way to surpass the score. Traditional exams, whether for the poor or the rich, are at least fair, but in the fantasy era, things are different. From snacks to elementary school, and even those wealthy people are said to hire hypnotists to hypnotize children every day, achieving deep sleep. They only need to sleep for 1 hour a day, which is better than others taking 3 days and nights off. Not only do they absorb nutrients, but they also have more time to prepare for battle. And the most terrifying thing is not these people, but those who are obviously strong but would rather stay in the same level and retake the exam. These talents are real competitors because their eyes are the top scorers in the college entrance examination, even the national top scorers, commonly known as the new king. A newcomer king with only 1 member per year. For Jiang Chen, whether he is the rookie king or the provincial champion, he only has 100 days left to study. After the light brain was activated, Jiang Chen directly searched for the deep hypnosis tutorial. He wanted to learn this because once he learned it, he hypnotized himself and slept soundly for an hour, so he didn't have to sleep all day. In this way, these 100 days can be fully utilized. After finding the relevant videos, Jiang Chen began to study wholeheartedly. Fortunately, in the era of national fantasy, many things were basically shared, and if he hid them, it was extremely possible to lose the inheritance, which was something that the human race did not want to see. Therefore, most things can be seen online, and if they are truly advanced, they can also be viewed through other means, but the prerequisite must be one's own person. An hour later, Jiang Chen quickly finished browsing the preliminary hypnosis tutorial. Soon, Jiang Chen took out something to improve his attention, and then began self-hypnosis. The most difficult thing to learn in hypnosis is self-hypnosis. It can be said that even a hypnotist needs 3 or even 5 or 10 years of practice to truly master it. Could Jiang Chen gradually hypnotized, and after half an hour, he was lying in bed. Jiang Chen didn't have a dream at this moment, and during deep sleep, his whole body would relax, and his tense nerves would completely relax. An hour passed quickly, and Jiang Chen slowly opened his eyes. There is no fatigue after waking up, only an indescribable spirit. Deep sleep is indeed powerful. The fatigue of the day was solved in just 1 hour, but I still can't do it. A truly skilled hypnotist can self-hypnotize within 10 minutes. I used it for half an hour, but it seems that I still need time to master it proficiently. Jiang Chen muttered to himself. But if these words are heard by others, I'm afraid they will be scolded by countless hypnotists. A new hypnotist needs to learn 3 years of basic knowledge to hypnotize others, and self-hypnosis is even more difficult. It's normal to start in 3 to 5 years and learn it in 10 years. Jiang Chen learned self-hypnosis in just 1 hour, although it was not as powerful as those hypnotists, but it was already considered an incredible feat. Surprisingly not satisfied, how can we prevent those hypnotists from vomiting blood? Moreover, a hypnotist is not something that ordinary people can learn. It requires someone with a strong spirit and exceptional qualifications to master. Jiang Chen's aptitude is 100 times that of an ordinary person, which can be considered a super genius. In terms of spiritual power, when two souls merge together, the natural spirit is strong. Soul fusion is not as simple as 1 plus 1. The qualified requirement for a hypnotist is to have 1% more spiritual power than others. What is the concept of Jiang Chen having 100% more spiritual power than others? However, I am studying the simplified version of hypnosis. If I want to learn better hypnosis, I must practice relevant secret techniques. I don't know if the supernatural library has such things. Jiang Chen secretly thought in his heart. And at that moment, the spirit of the supernatural library spoke. Answer the host, there are 120,000 books about hypnosis in the supernatural library. Can you still exchange it with me? Didn't you say there's not enough energy? Jiang Chen became curious. Insufficient energy, it's just that the host cannot appear in the supernatural library, but normal communication is possible. Qi Ling answered in this way. Oh, I understand. By the way, what type of book does hypnosis like the one I just learned belong to? Jiang Chen spoke up and asked, what he learned just now belongs to the beginner hypnosis in the fantasy world of the whole nation, and cannot be said to be the worst, at least it has a grade. Very poor. Very poor, the worst ordinary hypnosis book in the Super God Library is 100 times better than him. The spirit of the supernatural library evaluated without mercy. The worst low-quality hypnosis books are even better than 100 times. This is a bit awkward. How much energy do you need to exchange for the worst low-grade hypnosis book? Jiang Chen continued to ask. You can exchange it for 10,000 points. 10,000 points. Is it just 10,000 inferior spirit stones? This problem is not very big, although I say I don't have it, it's not that I can't make it, it's just a bit troublesome. The new book has just been released, please collect it. It will be updated every 4 days this week. I earnestly request everyone's support. Chapter 4. Part-time Hypnosis Master, Earning Spirit Stones, New. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the era of national fantasy, although martial artists are the main masters, there are also many professions that are very popular. For example, alchemists, enchanters, and hypnotists. Especially hypnotists, to put it bluntly, what are most people working so hard for? It's just for the sake of one's own child. Rich people will hire senior hypnotists, while moderately prosperous or ordinary families may occasionally hire hypnotists. It is now time for the college entrance examination, and hypnotists in the entire country of China are rare and their business is booming. Of course, most hypnotists cannot hypnotize too many times a day, because each hypnosis of others actually consumes their own mental energy. Jiang Chen is different. His spiritual power is 200% of that of a human, even a top-level hypnotist. His spiritual power is only about 10% of that of an ordinary person. It can be said that Jiang Chen was born suitable to be a hypnotist. He is now penniless and has no assets except for the 5 lower-grade spirit stones given by the Huaxia Alliance every month. Learning hypnosis is also the first step of Jiang Chen's 100-day sprint, and he is preparing to assess a hypnotist. Once officially recognized by the Hypnosis Guild, one hypnosis session can earn a large amount of lower-grade spirit stones. However, the first step is that Jiang Chen does not plan to go to the Hypnosis Guild for assessment, as he is only allowed to participate in the assessment once a year. For example, if he goes now and the assessment considers himself a moderate hypnotist, then he is considered a moderate hypnotist. Even if one day passes and his hypnosis ability becomes stronger, the official will not provide proof. This is the rule, so Jiang Chen plans to take a part-time job, earn 10,000 lower-grade spirit stones first, and then exchange for hypnosis in the Super God Library. In this way, the best plan is to go for an assessment. As for where to pick up business, Jiang Chen has already figured it out and can just squat at the hypnosis agency. The identity of hypnotists is transcendent, and they cannot handle business on their own. They are all entrusted to intermediaries, who are responsible for handling the business and then provide the hypnotist with choices. Whoever accepts the order can go directly to the agreed location, and the intermediary fee is entirely paid by the person who issued the order, without affecting the hypnotist's income in the slightest. Jiang Chen knows this because many people at Taoist Middle School have hired hypnotists. As for the fee, Jiang Chen sets it as 100 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once. The level division of hypnotists is junior hypnotist, intermediate hypnotist, senior hypnotist, special hypnotist, and super hypnotist. The official price for a junior hypnotist is 10 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once. The official price for intermediate hypnotists is 100 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once. The official price for a senior hypnotist is 1,000 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once. The official price for a top-level hypnotist is 10,000 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once. The official price of a super hypnotist is 100,000 inferior spirit stones to hypnotize once, and most super hypnotists are rented by super wealthy merchants who do not accept business, so this is only an official price. Jiang Chen can hypnotize others within half an hour, and it is still a 1-hour deep sleep, which is already something that advanced hypnotists can achieve. A super hypnotist can hypnotize others within 10 minutes, with a deep sleep of 1 hour and no need to sleep for 2 days or nights. A super hypnotist can hypnotize others within 1 minute, with a deep sleep of 1 hour and no need to sleep for 3 days or nights. And after deep sleep, there is another benefit, which is to enhance the qualification of the root bone for a short period of time. Learning efficiency has increased, and swallowing pills has resulted in the body absorbing more medicinal effects. However, this requires learning relevant secret techniques, which can also be called the hypnotist's magical secret techniques. Once mastered, one's value doubles, and even if not a super hypnotist, one can enjoy high prices. Jiang Chen cannot achieve this now. He is now equivalent to a senior hypnotist, with an official price of 1,000 inferior spirit stones. Jiang Chen takes on 100 of his own business, which is very cheap because he needs to obtain the spirit stones quickly and learn more advanced hypnosis techniques earlier. Hypnosis agencies are still overcrowded, and during the college entrance examination period, no one hopes that their descendants can be admitted to a good university. So it's reasonable for parents to work harder, even if it's already 3:30 in the morning. A person is queuing up, placing orders and making appointments, which can be said to be bustling with customers. It is precisely at this time that the business of hypnotists is very hot. Although the store is bustling, most people are still disappointed and return, either because their appointments are full or they are booked very late. There are only 100 days left for the college entrance examination, so it can be said that everyone is racing against time. Accept all hypnosis business, advanced hypnotist strength, don't ask if you are honest or not. Jiang Chen stood at the door, slightly away from him to avoid trouble, and then spoke slightly. With just one sentence, more than 10 people immediately surrounded Jiang Chen. Are you a hypnotist? Are you Mr. Hypnosis? Is it a senior hypnotist? A dozen or so people directly surrounded Jiang Chen, as if a millennium-colored emo had seen an extremely beautiful fairy. Jiang Chen was also startled, but he remained calm and said, with the level of a high-level hypnotist, the first hypnosis offered a discount of 100 inferior spirit stones. Jiang Chen spoke up. As soon as they said this, everyone was overjoyed. There were even 1,000 inferior spirit stones inside that couldn't hire a hypnotist. There was also a discount of 100 inferior spirit stones here. Suddenly, these people pulled me and said, "Master, come to me." Master, come to my house. Master, my 3 children, I don't want any discounts. I'll add 100 inferior spirit stones. Those who can come to hire a hypnotist may not be considered wealthy, but at least they can be considered well-off families. These people are all dressed in famous brands and naturally do not lack this money, so most people do not want discounts. Now Jiang Chen was surprised. He said he was offering a discount of 100 inferior spirit stones, and he said he would only accept 100 inferior spirit stones. I didn't expect that this group of people misunderstood, or perhaps Jiang Chen was wrong. Jiang Chen waved his hand and said, "All right, stop arguing. Go one by one, I'll take care of all the business." Jiang Chen spoke up and then casually pointed to someone, saying, "You, go to your house first. If the others want it, wait for me here." As soon as these words were spoken, the others dared not say anything more, fearing to provoke Jiang Chen. Quickly, Jiang Chen got into the other party's car. It was a floating electromagnetic car, priced at 1,000,000 yuan lower-grade spirit stone. Being able to drive such a car was basically a small fortune. Sitting in the car, Jiang Chen was very calm, but the other person smiled apologetically and said, "It's really impressive that the master can become a senior hypnotist at a young age." He praised, and Jiang Chen smiled slightly. He was now afraid that the other party would ask him if he had a hypnotist certificate. If he really asked, it would be troublesome. "By the way, have you obtained the advanced hypnosis certificate, master?" However, in the end, the other party still inquired. "What do you mean? Doubt me? Then I'll get off now." Jiang Chen's face remained unchanged. Although the other party asked, he still managed to calm down and see if he could intimidate him. "No, no, no, that's not what you mean. Master, don't be angry." Sure enough, Jiang Chen made the right bet. The other party didn't dare to ask so many questions because it was an extremely urgent moment. Who dared to offend a hypnotist like Jiang Chen? Not long after, Jiang Chen arrived at the other party's place, which was a high-end residential area. After going upstairs, the person immediately called their child over. He was a 19-year-old boy who was still full of energy. When he was called over, he looked reluctant, especially after seeing Jiang Chen, he felt a bit disdainful. After all, the two are of similar ages, so he doesn't think Jiang Chen has any skills. Dang! Jiang Chen snapped his fingers, then extended his index finger and placed it in front of the other person's eyebrows before starting to rotate. "Staring at your fingers, are you feeling a little uncomfortable?" Jiang Chen's deep voice rang out, and he immediately began to hypnotize without relying on any tools. After a full 40 minutes, the other person closed their eyes and lay directly on the ground, but was hugged by Jiang Chen and placed on the sofa. 40 minutes, without any tools, is already considered very good. Upon seeing it, the young father was extremely happy and said, "Thank you, master. Thank you, master. 1,000 inferior spirit stones, you said there's no need for a discount." Jiang Chen took a deep breath and hypnotized for 40 minutes. He was also a bit tired, but it was just a small tiredness, not much. Okay. Could you please take out the Lingsher card and I will transfer the money directly?" said the other party. Jiang Chen didn't talk nonsense, he just took out his own spirit stone card, which is a spirit stone card that the official supplies to him every month. Quickly, 1,000 inferior spirit stones arrived at the account, and Jiang Chen asked the other party to send him back to his original place. He had to go on other business. At the same time, also leave contact information with the other party for long-term cooperation. I earnestly request everyone's support. Kneeling to collect, kneeling to evaluate tickets, flowers. Chapter 5. Super Hypnosis, Amazing Discoveries. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At 5 a.m., Jiang Chen had already dealt with 10 customers and obtained a total of 10,000 inferior spirit stones, and there were still a large number of customers in the future. However, Jiang Chen did not plan to continue receiving customers at the moment. Although Jiang Chen felt that another 20 or 30 would not be a problem, doing so would definitely attract attention. Once someone noticed, check if he had any identification, and it would be unlucky. Impersonating a hypnotist to solicit business is not a small matter. It is already a crime. Jiang Chen was completely gambling in doing so before, so now he will not take any risks. Exchange for regular hypnosis books. Jiang Chen spoke in his heart, he had already earned 10,000 inferior spirit stones. Exchange energy points in progress. Exchange successful. Do you want to exchange lower-grade hypnosis books? Yes. Successfully redeemed, congratulations on redeeming Phantom Hypnosis. Book. Phantom Hypnosis quality. Regular books. Type. Divine power. Function. It allows people to enter deep sleep within 1 minute, and 1 hour can last for 2 days. Function. Improve learning ability by 20%. Hush. Lower quality books, entering deep sleep within 1 minute, improving learning ability by 20%. Isn't this super hypnosis? A super hypnotist can only give someone a deep sleep in 10 minutes, and an hour can boost their mental state for 2 days. It can also improve their learning ability, although it only improves by 20%, it is already quite strong. Some super hypnotists only possess this ability, but I didn't expect that the worst inferior books in the supernatural library are all treasures. The universal fantasy world has a division for all mind techniques, secrets, and so on. Ordinary, iron, precious, silver, gold, jade, spiritual, royal, imperial, sacred, immortal, divine, and imperial. However, in the supernatural library, inferior books are equivalent to treasures. What if it were medium books? Jiang Chen looked forward to it even more. Having obtained the hypnosis technique, Jiang Chen planned to leave here, go home and study hard, and attend the assessment tomorrow. However, as he walked out of the community gate, a figure suddenly appeared in front of Jiang Chen, appearing very burly. Jiang Chen was on guard and frowned. Don't misunderstand, Your Excellency Hypnosis Master. I would like to ask you to help my son with deep hypnosis. The other person spoke up, and with the help of a street lamp, Jiang Chen could see clearly the other person's appearance. He was a middle-aged man with some heroic looks, and there was no distractions in his eyes. Moreover, the other person was dressed in decent attire, not ordinary clothes, but magical weapons. This is not an ordinary person. The person in front of him gave Jiang Chen a strong feeling, but Jiang Chen remained calm and said, "Sorry, I need to rest." Jiang Chen directly refused the other party, but they offered an irresistible condition that Jiang Chen could not resist. I offer a price of 10,000 lower-grade spirit stones for 3 days, and I hope you can agree. The other party spoke up and said, 10,000 lower-grade spirit stones, which Jiang Chen couldn't resist. What he needed most now was this. Okay. Jiang Chen did not refuse, and the latter immediately showed a smile. Then, he raised his hand and a flying sword appeared in an instant. Before Jiang Chen could speak, he stood on the flying sword, and then the speed was extremely fast. However, there was a strong shield on the flying sword, which could block the strong wind. Otherwise, the strong wind was like a sword, enough to cut people into pieces. Flying sword. This is not something that ordinary people can have. It is a magic weapon, worth millions of lower-grade spirit stones, and it is a symbol of strength. If it is not a prestigious wealthy businessman or nobleman in the city, it is not allowed to use flying swords. This person is not an ordinary person. Why do these people value themselves when they can easily hire some super hypnotists? It didn't take long to arrive at the destination. Shao Mansion extremely atmospheric, Jiang Chen couldn't help but be surprised. Are you from the Shao mansion? The memories in his mind made Jiang Chen know that there were three major forces in the entire Jiangzhou province. The Shao family, the Lin family, and the Zhang family, among which the Shao family was the most powerful. Sir, it's best not to know some things. The middle-aged man spoke, and Jiang Chen fell silent. He understood the other person's meaning. Quickly, the middle-aged man took Jiang Chen very discreetly and came to a room. After opening the door, there was a young man inside who was vigorously practicing, but only doing simple sports and training, with little effect. Yenner, I'll help you find a hypnosis master for your father. In these 100 days, you can sprint quickly. The middle-aged man spoke up and looked at the young man, his face full of indulgence. Thank you very much, father. The young man nodded and then looked at Jiang Chen with a slightly polite smile, saying, Hello, my name is Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan. Jiang Chen couldn't help but smile. He was very familiar with the name, and couldn't help but look at Xiao Yan's father and say, Then you should be Xiao Zhan, right? Well, I'm officially the head of the Shao family, Xiao Zhan. I hope you will take some care during this period. On the one hand, the reward will never be unfair to you. This is a 100,000 inferior spirit stone. I hope you will pay this month's reward in advance. I hope you will do your best. He spoke up. What? Shao Yan. Shao Station. Jiang Chen was confused, but suddenly, he thought of a possibility. In this fantasy world of the whole nation, there is a shadow of the online novels I have read in my past life. To be honest, time travel has happened, and it is not impossible for such a situation to occur again. However, it is also possible that they have the same name and surname. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen couldn't help but ask, May I ask, what is the relationship between Miss Naylan and everyone? Naylan. Xiao Yan frowned, seeming to have heard of it but not very familiar with it. However, Xiao Zhan smiled and said, Miss Naylan is my son's fiancée, but Miss Naylan is talented and has already been selected by Yunnan University, a key university in the Chinese Fantasy Alliance. If our son can also enter a key university, it would be a perfect match. He smiled and said, very proud. However, Xiao Yan furrowed his brows and said, I'm not working hard for a woman I've never met before. Father, you've never mentioned this marriage before, so let's just ignore it. Xiao Yan said so. And Jiang Chen was completely shocked. As guessed, there are many shadows of online novels in this world, but Jiang Chen quickly regained his mind. However, at this moment, Xiao Zhan couldn't help but ask, do you know Miss Naylan? I don't know, I've only heard of it. Jiang Chen casually made a haha, and Xiao Zhan didn't ask much. At the same time, Jiang Chen couldn't help but ponder in his heart. If that's the case, Xiao Yan in front of me may really be the protagonist of the novel, the future protagonist, and it seems that Miss Naylan's withdrawal from marriage has not yet happened. I can completely make friends with Xiao Yan, not by holding onto my thigh, but by providing a guarantee. If I can make friends with Yan Emperor, it will also be a help for me. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen couldn't help but take a deep breath and looked at Xiao Yan, asking, Can I have the courage to ask something? Sir, please speak. Xiao Yan was momentarily taken aback, but immediately nodded and said. If I didn't hear you wrong, Your Excellency seems to be a genius, right? Jiang Chen spoke up and asked. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Yan's eyes immediately showed a look of despair, with a feeling of indescribable words. Even Xiao Zhan's face slightly changed on the side. Chapter 6. Accepting Apprentices, Millions of Spiritual Stones in Gratitude. New book. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Genius. These two words are extremely jarring to Xiao Yan. Yes, he is indeed a genius, but that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, during his junior high school years, he was a top student, sweeping across all the students in Jiangzhou City. Moreover, just in his third year of junior high school, he had already stepped onto the realm of physical secrets. Generally speaking, ordinary college students can only reach the physical realm, but they reached the physical realm in junior high school and have been stuck in the third level of the physical realm. Now that they are in their third year of high school, the geniuses of the same period have already reached the sixth and seventh levels of the physical realm. But Xiao Yan not only did not make progress, but also had some regressions. Originally, he was the hope of the Xiao family, but now he has become a drag on the Xiao family. Why did Xiao Yan find Jiang Chen to help him hypnotize? Because if he takes the initiative to find it, he will be noticed by elder Xiao of the Xiao family and will inevitably be ridiculed. In order to prevent Xiao Yan from being ridiculed, Xiao Zhan personally went to search for an unknown hypnotist. However, after searching for a long time, he found that the strength of the unknown was poor, and those with strength had fame. By chance, he discovered Jiang Chen, which is why he specially invited him here. I just didn't expect Jiang Chen to say these words. Genius. Hee, that's something from before. Xiao Yan took a deep breath. He wasn't angry, but rather ordinary. 3 years of mockery and ridicule had made him accustomed to this kind of thing. Xiao Yan also thanked everyone for their mockery and ridicule over the past 3 years, which had strengthened his willpower. Do you want to know the reason? At this moment, Jiang Chen was already certain Xiao Yan in front of him is the character from the famous online novel in his past life, so based on the plot development, Jiang Chen knows where the root cause lies. Reason. What reason? Why? At this moment, let alone Xiao Yan. Even Xiao Zhan was excited and looked at Jiang Chen with a shocked expression on his face, saying, Mr. Cheng, do you know what the reason is? He was very excited and then continued, if the gentleman really knows the reason and helps my son recover, Xiao Zhan is willing to go bankrupt. Xiao Zhan exclaimed excitedly, Xiao Yan is his son. Who wouldn't want his son to become a strong one? The most painful thing about his son's fall is still Xiao Zhan. He doesn't expect Xiao Yan to have any great achievements, but he doesn't want his son to be ridiculed as useless. That's all. So when Jiang Chen mentioned this, Xiao Zhan was extremely excited. And Xiao Yan widened his eyes, looking at Jiang Chen, hoping for the answer. However, at this moment, Jiang Chen suddenly had a bold idea. Therefore, he looked at Xiao Yan and said seriously, everyone has their own destiny. We are not relatives or relatives. If I guide you in the wrong direction, it belongs to reversing the universe. So please forgive me for not being able to answer. Jiang Chen, you captured Xiao Yan and indulged in the Tao. Of course, he knew the reason, but Jiang Chen had a bold idea and wanted to take Xiao Yan as his disciple. If in the future Xiao Yan really becomes the Yan Emperor, the great emperor of the human race, and he is his master, wouldn't that be his imperial teacher? How can this not make Jiang Chen excited? Although this approach is likely to fail, Jiang Chen is willing to give it a try. He knows Xiao Yan's personality, and if he truly worships himself as his teacher, he will definitely wholeheartedly believe and support himself unconditionally. Jiang Chen's words made Xiao Yan feel a bit desperate, but who is Xiao Zhan? After living for decades, he could immediately hear other meanings in Jiang Chen's words. He looked at Xiao Yan and couldn't help but say, Yener, kneel down. He spoke with a strong voice, and immediately Xiao Yan was taken aback, but he still knelt down, feeling a bit lost. I don't know your name yet. Xiao Zhan ignored Xiao Yan and instead looked at Jiang Chen, asking this question. In Jiangchen. Jiang Chen calmly composed himself. Yener, today I will make the decision for you to worship Jiang Chen as your teacher. Would you be willing to do so? When it comes to non-relatives and non-relatives, once one becomes a disciple, it is equivalent to another kind of father-son relationship. Although Jiang Chen is very young, I don't know why. Xiao Zhan always feels that Jiang Chen does have some abilities. If he can really restore his son's strength, what about becoming a disciple? On the contrary, what really earns is Xiao Yan. Apprentice. Xiao Yan was stunned for a moment. He didn't expect that his father would make him apprentice to Jiang Chen. Could Jiang Chen looks as big as himself, and there are indeed some, Master, what can I learn from you? Xiao Yan didn't react and asked this question. As soon as he said these words, Xiao Zhan couldn't help but curse his son Yumu's head, but at this moment, Jiang Chen said extremely seriously. If you worship me as your teacher, you will receive the supreme Dharma. If you worship me as your teacher, you will be able to roam freely in the world. If you worship me as your teacher, you will be able to transcend the 3 realms and 5 elements. If you worship me as your teacher, you will gain the way. If you worship me as your teacher, no one will dare to laugh at you, insult you, or mock you from now on. Jiang Chen looked confident and said that he had a supernatural library. If he drew the secret technique from the Duki world, he could definitely give it to Xiao Yan. This is Jiang Chen's capital, which can save Xiao Yan decades of hard work. When he said this, even though Xiao Zhan was somewhat moved, Jiang Chen's words were very domineering, and Jiang Chen was extremely confident when he said these words. He could see clearly that confidence was not something he pretended to be, he must have some skills, otherwise he wouldn't be able to exude such confidence. At this moment, Xiao Zhan felt that he might have picked up a treasure. Okay, I worship you as my teacher. My mentor is here, please accept my disciple's worship. Xiao Yan took a deep breath, and he was also infected by Jiang Chen's words. He kowtowed 3 times and worshipped Jiang Chen as his teacher. After apprenticeship, Jiang Chen nodded and said, "Today, everything was destined by fate. I will take you as my disciple. Today, you are my eldest disciple, and I will give you a chance of creation. The reason why you fell is because of the ring on your ring finger. I cannot know so much about it, but your ring is constantly sucking on the energy inside your body. The spiritual energy that you gather every time you practice will be absorbed by it." Jiang Chen spoke up, and as soon as he finished speaking, both Xiao Zhan and Xiao Yan's faces changed greatly, because they had never expected that the reason for the fall was actually this. However, before Xiao Yan could remove the ring, Jiang Chen continued, "But this is your chance. This ring can help you become a strong person, but he hasn't woken up yet and will need to wait for a while before he wakes up. Then your chance will come, and you can soar to the sky." Jiang Chen said seriously. Xiao Yan's face immediately showed a complex expression. Gains and losses, 3 years of decline, allow you to experience a different kind of life. It's a blessing in disguise. Perhaps for you, it's your 3 years of glory and decline, but in my opinion, these 3 years are better than 300 years of hard work, because what you have gained in these 3 years is more than anything else. Jiang Chen slowly said, calming Xiao Yan's mood. Xiao Zhan also nodded, agreeing with these words. Some geniuses, even if they fly high, still fall hard. How many geniuses can be surpassed by others? It's because they flew too high, worrying about gains and losses, and Xiao Yan fell in 3 years. In a sense, it was actually a good thing. Jiang Chen's words were not something that ordinary people could say. At this moment, Xiao Zhan even more believed that Jiang Chen was a remarkable existence. Perhaps it may be that some antiques have returned to their old age and traveled around the world, which is not impossible. Thinking of this, Xiao Zhan immediately spoke up and said, "Thank you, sir, for saving my child from suffering. For this, Xiao Zhan is willing to give you various rewards. Please speak up, sir." Xiao Zhan will not be stingy. He spoke seriously. But Jiang Chen shook his head and said, "Since I have become the teacher of Xiao Yan, this is my duty in itself, but I do need a spiritual stone." "Sir, please speak up," Xiao Zhan said seriously. 1 million lower-grade spirit stones. After thinking for a long time, Jiang Chen finally said this number. In fact, he didn't want it. He just took someone as a disciple and asked for the spirit stones. Isn't this a bit too powerful? Million lower grade spirit stones, this cannot be said to be a large amount, but it is definitely not a small amount. However, relatively speaking, to solve Xiao Yan's problem, a million lower grade spirit stones are something that Xiao Zhan can stand up to. Of course, for the entire Xiao family, a million lower grade spirit stones is a drop in the bucket, but for Xiao Zhan personally, it is not a small amount. Xiao stands willingly, requesting everyone to evaluate tickets, collect, comment, flowers, and other support. Thank you all. Kneel down and beg for everything. Chapter 7. Million Energy, Lottery. Shenxiang Town Prison. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After hypnotizing Xiao Yan, Xiao Zhan had someone bring a linkshare card and immediately spoke up, Mr. Jiang, this linkshare card contains 2 million inferior linkshare, which is also part of Xiao Zhan's personal assets. If you still need it, no matter what, Xiao will get it for you. Xiao stood up and looked at Jiang Chen, saying, Thank you very much, Chief Xiao. I will definitely repay it 10,000 times in the future. I demanded 1 million and the other gave me 2 million, which was really touching. However, Xiao Zhan waved his hand and sighed, Actually, it's your excellency that Xiao should be more grateful. You should know that my son has been depressed every day for 3 years since he fell. Every time I see my son like this, Zhao's heart is dripping with blood. Thank you for taking the initiative to help my son out of the predicament. Please bear this. After saying these words, Xiao Zhan knelt down directly and kowtowed to Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen took a deep breath, feeling sorry for his parents. Later, Jiang Chen continued, Since that's the case, I'll go back first. I'll come back tomorrow at this time. Please remember, Lord Xiao, that now Xiao Yan is not only your son, but also my disciple. As soon as he said this, Xiao Zhan nodded and smiled. He also suggested that Jiang Chen stay for accommodation, but Jiang Chen still refused. Xiao Yan and Xiao Zhan were not afraid, but the Xiao family knew if there were anyone else, so it was better to go home. Quickly, Xiao Zhan personally escorted Jiang Chen back home, and then Xiao Zhan left this place. After Xiao Zhan left, Jiang Chen sat at home with an indescribable feeling about what had happened today. Today, not only did I obtain 2 million inferior spirit stones, but it was also another side of the world. If I hadn't met Xiao Zhan today, it might have taken me a long time to realize the existence of this group of people. If that's the case, I've read a lot of online novels, maybe they can come in handy in the future. Jiang Chen secretly thought in his heart. However, soon Jiang Chen began to deal with his own affairs and obtained the spirit stone. Now it was time to exchange it for martial arts secrets and divine powers. Strengthening oneself was the fundamental principle. He could scare others once, but not 3 times. Moreover, if nothing unexpected happens, Nalan may soon come to her door to divorce and face her. If one's own strength is not strong, watching one's disciple be slapped in the face, this slap is not on Xiao Yan's face, but on his face. However, there should be some time before Miss Nalan comes to withdraw from the marriage. I can try to fight for it myself, after all, when Miss Nalan comes to her door, my own strength is not strong. With the help of the supernatural library, anything is possible. Detected that the host has millions of energy, activated passive function, millions of lucky draws, do you choose to activate it? The spirit of the supernatural library spoke up. $1 million lottery. What does it mean? Jiang Chen was a bit surprised, isn't it just 3 functions? Why is there another feature added? A $1 million lottery is a lottery that uses 1 million energy points to draw books from the gods, with a higher chance of winning lower grade books. Lower grade books, tens of thousands of energy points can be exchanged, and using 1 million to extract them can be a bit risky. But at this moment, Qi Ling continued to speak. $1 million point lottery, the 100th time will definitely earn you the Book of the Gods. If you have really been unlucky, you can also win it the 100th time. You can definitely obtain the Book of God 100 times, which is not bad. Even if you have had bad luck in the first 100 times, it is equivalent to 1 billion energy points. When you exchange for a Book of God, you will not lose. Jiang Chen couldn't help but think of something and said, previously, you said that the Chaos Hen Library needed energy points to convert books, but now why can 1 million energy points be used to extract books from the gods? Is this a bit unreasonable? Jiang Chen's mind was very delicate, and he immediately caught a loophole. The spirit of the vessel immediately replied, indeed, that's true, but the host's million energy lottery uses the abilities of the Super God Library through the Void Lottery, using 1 million points of energy to absorb the void energy. If you're lucky, you can absorb endless energy in one breath and convert it into a Book of Gods. Qi Ling answered in this way, and Jiang Chen couldn't help but nod. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen gritted his teeth and said, then let's take a look. If it doesn't work, there is still 1 million energy points, which is enough for him to use. Jiang Chen spoke up and said, if you haven't really drawn anything good, just treat yourself like Xiao Zhan gave you 1 million points of energy. We are currently in the million energy lottery. DDD. DDD. Congratulations on selecting online novels, the first cultivation technique among the holy gods, the divine elephant suppressing jail power. Divine level. Divine level. It's divine again. Jiang Chen was shocked. He had a suspicion that he had filled his luck when traveling. Why is it a divine level book again? Book. Divine elephant suppresses imprisonment. Quality. Book of God. Type. First center of gravity method. Explanation. The divine elephant suppresses the jail power, the first level of cultivation law. The human body has 840 million tiny cells, and each tiny particle can awaken into a giant elephant. The first center of gravity method is to transform the body's 840 million tiny cells into a giant elephant. Not only is this a book of gods, but more importantly, it is also the mental method that Jiang Chen has always wanted. High school students can only practice the mental method issued by the Mysterious Alliance, but that kind of mental method is only suitable for laying a foundation and is not suitable for cultivation at all. This time in the college entrance examination, every true top student has already practiced mental skills. For example, Xiao Yan possesses the mental skills of the Xiao family. Although his grade is not very high, he surpasses too many people. People with mental methods and those without mental methods are simply the difference between heaven and earth. But now that I have my own mental skills, I have won the first prize in Jiangzhou province this year, which has added more confidence. The divine elephant suppresses the jail power. This is an unparalleled divine level Qigong. You should know that this mental technique can cultivate 840 million giant elephants, and in the end, it can cultivate 840 million divine elephants, which can engulf mountains and rivers with energy. Raising your hand and lifting your foot can destroy heaven and earth. At present, Jiang Chen began to cultivate the divine elephant prison control force. The benefits of being 100 times more qualified were reflected, and the power of the divine elephant to control the prison was fully understood by Jiang Chen in just 10 hours. Mind concept, cellular giant seed. Jiang Chen sat cross-legged, practicing. He transformed his physical body into 840 million giant elephant seeds, and in an instant, the cells in Jiang Chen's body were completely transformed. Each one is a giant seed, and as long as you awaken one cell, you can possess the power of a giant elephant. However, this is just the first step. To truly become powerful, one needs to acquire spiritual energy and awaken the giant elephant seed. Spiritual energy, what I lack the most now is spiritual energy. Give me enough spiritual energy to awaken 840 million giant elephant seeds overnight. Jiang Chen secretly thought to himself that the greatest effect of the divine elephant's prison control power was that without the concept of realm, all he needed was spiritual energy. With enough spiritual energy, Jiang Chen could become an unparalleled powerhouse in one day. But the required spiritual energy was too huge, and Jiang Chen was not sure how much it needed. However, Jiang Chen had no intention of directly taking down the great spiritual stone to absorb the spiritual energy from it, as it would be a waste of the spiritual stone. And there is another way to obtain a large amount of spiritual energy, which is to use pills. Begging for flowers, evaluation tickets, and thanking all book friends. The previous text has been modified. I hope everyone can give me more guidance. Han Mang will definitely make serious revisions. Chapter 8. Learning Alchemy, Doing It Yourself, Feng. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Pills symbolize wealth, because ordinary civilians cannot enjoy such things. Some descendants of wealthy businessmen have been taking pills to nourish their health since childhood, and it can be said that their physical fitness is extremely good. Jiang Chen doesn't need to swallow this kind of pill that cultivates the essence and strengthens the foundation now, because Jiang Chen's roots and bones are 100 times that of others. The Book of Changes directly transformed Jiang Chen's physical body, and this is only the first article. If he obtains the following articles, his physical body will once again sublimate. So what Jiang Chen needs is a pill full of spiritual energy, but that kind of pill often requires more than 10 inferior spirit stones per pill, and its efficacy is average, equivalent to directly absorbing the energy from the spirit stones. However, directly absorbing the energy from the spirit stone requires refining the special energy from the spirit stone, which takes too long. 10 or 100 pieces are simple, but 1,000 or 10,000 pieces are not enough. It's better to use the same pill. A high-quality pill is equivalent to the energy of 10,000 inferior spirit stones. But the price of pills is expensive, firstly due to cost issues, secondly due to failure rates, and thirdly due to the labor costs of alchemists. An alchemist can refine a pill at a cost of 100 inferior spirit stones, but for sale, after several procedures, it takes at least 300 or even 500 inferior spirit stones. In this case, there will be some losses. Do it yourself and have plenty of food and clothing. Not long after, Jiang Chen decided to learn alchemy on his own. After all, he was 100 times more qualified, so he couldn't learn alchemy. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen immediately began to exchange alchemy. Qi Ling, with 500,000 energy points, how many alchemy books can you exchange for? Jiang Chen spoke up and asked. Answer the host, according to your request, we have recommended a moderate set of books for alchemy. There are a total of 9 books, 3 of which are the general outline of alchemy, 3 of which are alchemy secrets, and 3 of which are alchemy formulas. Although the alchemy formulas recorded in the books belong to the common type, there are also some precious alchemy formulas, which are of various types and are very suitable for novice alchemists. They only require 6,666 energy points and are also given as gifts, which can be learned directly. Do you want to exchange them? Having a tool spirit is good. It can be used to draw inferences, with 66,666 energy points. To be honest, Jiang Chen can still afford this money, but it's only about 100,000 more than expected. It's not a big deal, but more importantly, it's a realization. You can save your time, why not do it? After confirmation, a large amount of it suddenly appeared in Jiang Chen's mind, which was a wake-up call that could directly save Jiang Chen's time. Alchemy is not as simple as hypnosis. Hypnosis only requires mental strength and learning some magical skills and secret techniques. But alchemy is different. To become a qualified alchemist, you must have 3 points. Identify medicinal herbs first. The second, proficient prescription. The third, strongest endurance. If you don't even know the medicinal herbs, what other elixirs are you refining? And it is necessary to be proficient in alchemy, when to put what herbs, how many herbs to put, and the third point is endurance, because alchemy cannot be done by putting herbs in an alchemy furnace, it requires constant attention. Of course, if you have a magic pill furnace, it will be different. The magic pill furnace can be used to refine pills by yourself, and you only need to operate it once to perfectly refine pills. However, the pill furnaces that can self-refine pills are all spiritual pill furnaces, with infinite value. Even if it is the Shao family, it is not necessarily possible to have a spiritual elixir. Of course, some prestigious universities or sects naturally possess this type of alchemy. There are a total of 9 books exchanged by Jiang Chen, but these books are worth billions of words. Even if he were to read them, it would probably take him a year and a half to finish them at a glance. This is still hard to remember, and he cannot recite them fluently. But now, with a sudden realization, Jiang Chen saved ordinary people more than a decade, even decades of hard work. But even with so much information, Jiang Chen is just a theoretical expert because he has never practiced it. But at this moment, suddenly, Jiang Chen felt trapped in a dark space, where there were countless medicinal herbs in an alchemy furnace burning in flames, while he unconsciously refined the alchemy. Each type of pill has been refined hundreds or even thousands of times, and once it is refined, it is immediately replaced with a new one. Through this process of repeated refining, all of the 108,000 types of pills have been refined, ultimately emerging from this dark space. However, all of this did not make Jiang Chen feel uncomfortable. It was as if in an instant, he had become proficient in 108,000 methods of alchemy, all of which he had personally mastered, not the kind of teleportation that allowed him to master alchemy. At this moment, Jiang Chen is already considered a qualified alchemist. Whether it is identifying medicinal herbs or having experience, Jiang Chen is already considered a qualified alchemist. And all of this took less than 10 minutes. If it were someone else, it would be impossible to become an alchemist without 30 or 50 years. However, Jiang Chen was not excited. There were still 90.9 days left until the 100-day college entrance examination, and each day should not be wasted for him. He was under a lot of pressure. The slap from Taicang Middle School, Jiang Chen wants to return it, that's all. In my current situation, the most suitable one is the Yunling pill. I have only transformed 840 million microcells, but I have not even awakened the power of a giant elephant, and I am still a poor student. Only after truly awakening the giant elephant seed can I compete for the Jiangzhou Province College entrance examination qualification. Jiang Chen secretly thought to himself that he had a delicate mind and knew the current situation. Yunling pill is a first-class pill, which is the most popular among martial artists in the secret realm of the flesh. A lower-grade Yunling pill contains the spiritual energy of 5 lower-grade spiritual stones. With the current situation, Jiang Chen can refine the upper-grade Yunling pill, and may even refine the ultimate-grade Yunling pill. A top-notch spiritual pill is equivalent to the spiritual energy contained in 50 inferior spiritual stones. For Jiang Chen, the root and bone increase is 500 times, and the efficacy of swallowing the pill is a whopping 500 times. A top-notch Yunling pill is equivalent to 25,000 inferior spirit stones. The price of an unparalleled spiritual pill is about 100 inferior spiritual stones, because there are intermediaries who make a profit from the price difference. However, there are still many wealthy merchants willing to buy it, as directly refining spiritual stones takes too long, so pills are an essential thing for martial artists to cultivate. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen didn't waste any time and went directly to the Shao family to seek help from Shao Station and purchased some medicinal herbs. There are also some alchemists in the Tang Shao family, so there is a specialized channel for medicinal materials. Not only are the medicinal materials superior, but the prices are also reasonable and not too expensive. Refining Yunling pill requires 26 materials, and according to the market price, 500 inferior spirit stones are needed. One material can produce 10 to 20 pills, but it is also possible to produce waste pills, which have no value at all. Not long after, Jiang Chen arrived at the Xiao family. After finding Xiao Zhan, Jiang Chen explained his intention and asked, "Is it a medicinal herb for Yunling Dan?" One serving costs 450 inferior spirit stones. This is our channel for purchasing. How many servings do you need? 40 and 50 pieces, 50 pieces cheaper, and the medicinal herbs are guaranteed to be of high quality, which is already very profitable. Jiang Chen nodded and said, "I want 1,000 pieces. 1,000 pieces is 450,000 lower-grade spirit stones." Currently, Jiang Chen still has 340,000 lower-grade spirit stones on hand, which is still 110000. We can only ask Xiao Zhan for help with this. 1,000 copies. If it's temporary, it's very troublesome. Can you give Xiao some time to prepare? Xiao Zhan said. Okay, can I get it at this time tomorrow? Jiang Chen asked. Sure. Xiao nodded to ensure there was no problem. Jiang Chen thanked him and then left. He also had to go to the Hypnosis Guild to register for the Hypnosis Master level. The saying of alchemy is that there is no rush for 1 or 2 days. The new book has just been released, and we really need everyone's flowers, clicks, review tickets, comments, and tipping support. Thank you all. Chapter 9. Super Hypnosis Master begins Alchemy New. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Hypnosis Master Guild is usually not visited by many people here, unless there are some urgent matters that require the arrival of a Hypnosis Master. Otherwise, this place appears very quiet. Jiang Chen arrived here, but as soon as he reached the door, he was stopped by the security guard at the door. If you are hiring a hypnotist and going to an intermediary, this is the Hypnotist Guild and you cannot enter without permission. The attitude of the security guard is quite good, not aggressive, just reminding Jiang Chen because many people thought that a hypnotist could be hired here. I'm here to participate in the assessment, not to hire a hypnotist, Jiang Chen smiled. As soon as he said this, the security guard's face suddenly changed. Jiang Chen looked like he was under 20 years old, but he actually came to participate in the hypnotist assessment. This is quite unusual. It should be noted that most hypnotists are between the ages of 25 and 40, and this industry is more popular as they get older. Because of your rich experience, if you don't hypnotize well and make someone's child crazy, who wouldn't worry? Oh, I'm sorry, please come in. The security guard immediately appeared respectful. Jiang Chen nodded and walked into the Hypnosis Guild. According to the sign, he arrived at the assessment site in no time. At the assessment location, there were only 3 people. One elderly man was watching some programs, and 2 female assistants were chatting there. However, when they noticed Jiang Chen's arrival, they immediately smiled and said, "Hello. May I ask who you are?" "I'm here to participate in the assessment," Jiang Chen said with a smile on his face. "Oh, well, are you already a hypnotist or a new registered one?" the other person asked. "New registration." Jiang Chen answered truthfully. "Okay, please fill out this form. After completing it, pay 100 lower-grade spirit stones to proceed with the first assessment." The other party took out a form, and Jiang Chen picked up his pen. With a few strokes, he completed the form and submitted it directly. Then the female assistant handed the form to the old man, who received it and said, "Let's start the assessment now. Just try hypnotizing her." He spoke very casually. "Okay." Jiang Chen didn't care about the other person's attitude. He just raised his hand and stared at one of the female assistants. Without saying a word, his hands were like illusions, constantly twisting, possibly an extraordinary performance. In just 5 minutes, the female assistant couldn't resist this hypnosis. "I fell asleep right now." "Ah." The old man in charge of the assessment immediately looked up at Jiang Chen. In less than 5 minutes, he could hypnotize, and it was still deep sleep. He could tell at a glance what kind of sleep it was. This is a super hypnotist. Jiang Chen is young and thought he was a junior or intermediate hypnotist, but he didn't expect to be a super hypnotist. However, everything still needs to be reviewed. Quickly an hour later, through a magic weapon test, the female assistant who was hypnotized by Jiang Chen was found to have 1 hour of deep sleep, which can boost her mental state for 2 days and improve her learning ability. At this moment, all three of them looked surprised. However, it was only a momentary surprise. They had seen similar situations before, but it was rare for young people like Jiang Chen to have reached the level of a super hypnotist, which is why they were surprised. At this moment, the other party immediately gave Jiang Chen a certificate and filled in this profession in Jiang Chen's personal file. Soon Jiang Chen's phone received a message. "Hello, as you have become a super hypnotist, your social status has been improved. Currently, you are at level 3 and can enjoy subsidies from China, as well as priority rights in all aspects. In the fantasy world of the whole nation, everyone should be classified into 3, 6, or 9 levels. These are the reference points for social status, such as social status, family background, personal strength, school education, sect disciples, or other secondary professions. The social status ranges from 1 to 18 levels, with the worst being the first level. As long as an individual is at the first level, of course, criminals are not counted. The highest level is 18 level, which is the person who truly controls the country or the supreme strong. Jiang Chen used to be a level 1 person, but due to his status as a super hypnotist, he was promoted to level 3 and enjoys national subsidies. However, Jiang Chen doesn't care about that kind of subsidy. Level 3 is already considered good, enjoying many rights that are not inferior to those of wealthy businessmen. After obtaining the documents, Jiang Chen left this place and went to the Shao family. Alchemy requires an alchemy furnace, which Jiang Chen does not have. However, the Shao family must have one. As Shao Zhan, it is still a small matter to let oneself go to alchemy. The next day, all the medicinal materials have been prepared, and 1,000 portions of Yunling Dan's medicinal materials are placed in the alchemy area. Shao Zhan has people strictly guard them and cannot interfere with Jiang Chen. 1,000 pieces of Yunling Dan medicinal herbs, I don't know how many furnaces of top-quality pills can be refined. After Jiang Chen was ready, he began to directly refine pills. The Shao family's alchemy stove is also quite good. It is semi-automatic, and you don't need to place herbs step by step. You can directly control it, just watch the temperature yourself. If you awaken a giant elephant seed, it's good. This will increase the speed of alchemy by 100 times. Jiang Chen secretly thought to himself that he had no internal power at the moment, so he could only refine pills step by step, which was very troublesome. Therefore, at this moment, Jiang Chen was very eager to awaken a giant elephant seed. In the era of national fantasy, there are 9 levels of realm division. Body Secret Realm, Divine Power Secret Realm, Longevity Secret Realm, Adversity Secret Realm, Legends Secret Realm, Giant Secret Realm, Great Saint Secret Realm, Supreme Secret Realm, Emperor Secret Realm. The 9 realms represent the strongest system of this era. The first level is the secret realm of the physical body. Only in university can one officially enter the cultivation stage. Most martial artists start to truly engage in cultivation during their university years, and before that, they only learned and nourished their physical body. Because 20 years old is the most suitable time for cultivation, of course, if you are a genius, you can cultivate before 20 years old. Jiang Chen is almost 20 years old now, but he has not practiced any mental techniques, he just accumulates his physical body every day. However, things are different now. Jiang Chen wants to cultivate, awaken the giant elephant seed, and compete for the top spot in the Jiangzhou Provincial College entrance examination, that's all. Seeking everything, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets. Seeking collection. Thank you very much. Chapter 10. Successful Alchemy and Awakening of the Giant Elephant Seed. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Time passes day by day, and refining pills is a time-consuming task. It took you 3 days to refine 1,000 pills. There are still 96 days left until the college entrance examination, which can be said to be urgent. In 3 days, 1,000 materials of Yunling pills were used to refine a total of 15,000 top.grade Yunling pills, 3,000 top.grade Yunling pills, and 2,000 discarded pills. Mainly because Jiang Chen became anxious later on. After all, refining pills for 3 days and 3 nights would indeed have some impact. But it has already made a fortune. The value of the superior spiritual pill is equivalent to 30 inferior spiritual stones. 15,000 superior spiritual pills are equivalent to 450,000 inferior spiritual stones, plus 3,000 superior spiritual pills, which is 300,000 inferior spiritual stones. The total value of the lower grade spirit stone is 750,000 yuan, while the total price of the medicinal herbs is only 450,000 yuan, with a net profit of 300,000 yuan. In just 3 days, the net profit of 350,000 yuan is still due to its own strength combined with the issue of the elixir. If Jiang Chen awakens the giant elephant seed, the speed of alchemy will increase by 100 times. If Jiang Chen is given another silver elixir furnace, he can refine 1,000 elixirs in an hour, and there will be basically no waste elixir phenomenon. However, the value of the golden elixir is too great. Even if it is from the Shao family, it is just a precious elixir. Jiang Chen has no intention of selling the refined pill. What he wants to do is to devour it himself. After all, he has read the Book of Changes, improved his physical body, and increased his qualifications and roots by 500 times. One Yunling pill that Jiang Chen swallows is equivalent to devouring 500 pills. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen didn't talk nonsense and started devouring the pill directly. At the entrance of a spiritual pill, it immediately transformed into surging energy. The benefits of 500 times the number of bones were immediately reflected. Just one Ju Qi spiritual pill, equivalent to 50 inferior spiritual stones, brought the energy of 25,000 inferior spiritual stones. Boom! At this moment, Jiang Chen's body was vibrating with 840 million giant elephant seeds, emitting terrifying energy. Roar! A giant elephant seed flickered and seemed to want to break free. This was a sign of awakening, but the energy was still lacking. Currently, Jiang Chen swallowed 9 peerless spiritual pills in one breath, and in an instant, the powerful and terrifying energy directly activated a giant elephant seed. Puff! A phantom image of a giant elephant appeared above Jiang Chen's head, which was an ancient giant that was a domineering presence in ancient times. At this moment, the whole world seemed to have changed. Jiang Chen woke up to the first giant elephant seed, feeling a sense of transcendence. A few hundred meters away, 2 ants were fighting for food, and in the high air, a mosquito was aimlessly searching for a target. The whole world seemed to be completely new. The most important thing is that a terrifying aura fills Jiang Chen's body, which can suppress the vast ancient world. In ancient times, the giant elephant itself was a king, and it is a descendant of the divine elephant. As long as you awaken the power of 840 million ancient giant elephants, you can possess the power of the divine elephant. And possessing the power of divine images, one can suppress hell and possess the power of prison control. If it weren't for the 500 times bone bonus, Jiang Chen would find it difficult to break through to this level. You should know that he has swallowed 10 peerless Yunling pills, which is equivalent to 5,000. To be honest, even with 1,000 materials, he cannot refine 5,000 peerless Yunling pills. Even if it can be refined, there are too many spiritual stones needed. At this moment, suddenly, Jiang Chen's physical body was undergoing transformation, awakening the first giant elephant seed, which was actually a crucial step forward. Jiang Chen's body was covered in layers of dirt, and he felt a knife-like pain all over. This was a rebirth. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth and persisted, then began to devour the pill crazily. Cultivate the divine elephant prison power. When awakening the first giant seed, there will be a chance for rebirth. If more giant seeds can be awakened during rebirth, then this rebirth will be strengthened. How many strong people wish to undergo a transformation? Those transformative pills are invaluable, so Jiang Chen must seize this opportunity and never let it slip away. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen didn't talk nonsense and crazily devoured the Yunling pill. 20. 30. 40 pieces. 50 pieces. Puff. The second giant elephant seed awakened once again, and at this moment, Jiang Chen's spirit and spirit reached their peak. Every awakening is not as simple as 1 plus 1, but rather a multiple increase. Jiang Chen's bones have cracked, which is the second phenomenon of rebirth. The bones have started to crack and the body has been recast. Jiang Chen continues to devour 100 Yunling pills. 200 pieces. 300. When swallowing the 300th seed, the third giant seed awakened. Just like this, a vast aura swept through the surrounding area for 100 miles, causing the entire Shao family to tremble. Elders woke up from their cultivation and rushed over one after another. However, Shao Zhan immediately noticed it and came to the door, blocking those who wanted to explore the truth of the Shao family. Clan leader. What happened here? This force is very powerful, can't it be a warrior with the peak of the physical secret realm who can break through here? Elder after elder asked, while Shao stood expressionless and said, "This is a friend I have invited, who is breaking through." Elders don't need to be alarmed. Shao stood calm on the surface, but in reality, his heart was very shaken. Because the strength that Jiang Chen unleashed has already reached the divine-powered secret realm. Do you know that if you only look at the surface, Jiang Chen is only 20 years old and has already reached the divine-powered secret realm? This is simply a genius among geniuses, even more so than his son. However, soon Jiang Chen broke through once again. Boom! The power of the vast giant elephant swept across the Shao family, and Jiang Chen had already awakened his fourth one, swallowing 1,500 peerless spiritual pills. At this moment, the Yunling pill rolled in and directly penetrated into Jiang Chen's mouth. Jiang Chen could directly refine it. And Jiang Chen's physical body has also reached the final part of transformation, undergoing a blood transfusion. The 5 organs and 6 viscera have all been recast, and the next part is the final one. 15,000 superior spiritual pills were crazily devoured by Jiang Chen. Melt the rolling air. The 5th one. The 6th one. 15,000 superior spiritual pills, only 2 more can awaken, but at this moment, Jiang Chen has undergone a complete transformation. Seeking evaluation votes. Seeking collection. Begging for flowers. Thank you to all book friends. Thank you.